Back to you with another new topic, Unification of Germany. My dear friends, I am telling you, there are three major unifications are there in this chapter. That is nationalism in Europe. The unification of Germany, the unification of Italy, and the unification of Britain. Very important. Either one, always it is asked. Either one pakka. So here we are going to make the videos. An individual video we are going to make on Germany and Italy and Britain. The first one, the unification of Germany. Let us check what all are the questions can be asked or what in shape the question can come. Explain the process of German unification under the leadership of Otto and Bismarck. Briefly trace the process of German unification. Describe the process of unification of Germany. Describe the significance of Frankfurt Parliament. Such a way, different questions can come. But answer is only one and only one. We will be moving with that. So if the question one, the unification of Germany is asked, the first thing you have to remember in your mind that it is Frankfurt Parliament. First heading should come in your mind. When the unification of Italy comes, there should be two headings will be there. First one, the Frankfurt Parliament. Second one, the role of Otto von Bismarck. We are moving with the first one, the Frankfurt Parliament. A large number of political associations whose members were middle class professionals, businessmen and artisans came together in the city of Frankfurt and decided to vote for a German National Assembly. So on a fine morning in the city of Frankfurt, it is a city in Germany. On a fine morning, so many people and so many national groups and the political associations which are members were from, which all are the members among these political associations and everything, those the members from the professionals and the businessmen and artisans and all these people came together in the Frankfurt city and they have decided that we need a national assembly. Why you can think that it is why in their mind a national assembly or they want a parliament, they wanted to be ruled by the representative. This mind setup came in their mind, or why did they decide and they have come together in a city? You know that it is. There was a saying from Duke Metternich, when the France sneezes, rest of the Europe catches the cold. What all are the things were going on inside the France started to imitate by the different European countries. German people also heard about all the things what happened in France and as well as Greece, and they could understand that they could become their own independent nation. So by hearing and getting inspiration from the French people and the Greece people, they have decided that we also wanted a nation. With this inspiration, they have come together. So many members in the different political association, from the artisan group, professional classes, these all are the people gathered together in the Frankfurt city and they decided to have a national assembly. We need a national assembly. We need a parliament. So they have decided, agreed upon. And according to their decision, they have conducted an election and they have on 1848, they have elected 831 members. So they have decided, conducted the election, and in 1848, they have elected 831 members as the elected representatives. You see, when the France sneezes, the rest of the Europe catches the cold. They have got the clear inspiration and they wanted their nation they wanted their nation to be under a democratic form of government. They are also fed up with the monarchy and everything. So they have decided and they have elected also. After electing 831 representative, there was a very high march was going on. They marched with so many people, this 831 elected members, and the number of thousands of people, they have marched towards the church of Saint Paul in the Frankfurt city. In the other end, there was a big huge church was there, that was the church of Saint Paul. So they have approached this church. This is the church, you can see that it is. They have came here and all the elected delegates came inside and they have taken their position and they have proclaimed it as the National Assembly, and they have gathered inside and they decided to draft a constitution for Germany. You see, all the things, you can compare all these things which happen in France also. You remember, definitely you can remember that it is, you recall the things. In the Versailles Palace, there was a state general was going on and the king was asked for the old style of voting. That means one vote per estate. But the common people were not happy in the estate general. They had demanded one vote per head. But Louis XVI was not ready to accept it. When the Louis XVI was not ready to accept, they have came out of the Versailles Palace and they have marched towards the tennis court and they have proclaimed themselves as the National Assembly. They have closed inside the tennis court and they started to draft a constitution. When the France sneezes, rest of the Europe catches the cold. You see, Germans also, they have came together in the Frankfurt city and they have decided that we also need a National Assembly. In 1848, they have elected 831 members. After electing, they also marched towards the church nearby and went inside the church. They proclaimed themselves as the National Assembly and they started the work of making the new constitution. They started to draft the constitution. Then let us see what happened afterwards. They have drafted a wonderful constitution, but this constitution having the speciality than any other constitution. This constitution was supporting the constitutional monarchy. Now the people decided that we will be having a constitutional monarchy. Constitutional monarchy, you know, the monarch, the king will rule the country according to the constitution. He cannot take any decision of his own. He has to discuss with the parliament. He has to discuss with he has to act according to the constitution. Before he takes the decision, he needs to discuss with the representatives who are elected by the people. That it is a constitutional monarchy. Then when these German people made the new constitution, or newly elected the German National Assembly, when they have made the new constitution, they have decided, they have drafted the constitution which will provide or which is accepting only constitutional monarchy. Okay? In the Frankfurt city, they are gathering, they are deciding to have a National Assembly. They have voted, elected 831 members and marched towards the Church of Saint Paul, proclaimed themselves as the National Assembly, started drafting the Constitution. Constitution was protecting or going for a constitutional monarchy. After this incident, up to this, and after that, what did they do? This National Assembly, the delegates from the National Assembly met William IV, a Prussian king. So delegates from this National Assembly met the Prussian king. Who was he? The William IV. Why did they meet him? They have asked him to be the king of Germany. But William IV was not ready to be the king of newly elected or newly formed Germany. He rejected the proposal. He told, no, I will not come. You may be knowing the reason why. Maybe the William IV, somebody is coming and calling you to be the king of a particular country. You are not saying, you are saying, no, why? Why maybe? Can you imagine? Can you guess it out? Simple. Why? Because he was not happy with the constitutional monarchy. If it was monarchy, with wholeheartedly he jumped and come to Germany also, to be the king of Germany also. But he was not happy with the constitutional monarchy, so rejected. He told that, no, I will not. And at the same time, every monarchs at that time in the European countries were very worried about they are going to lose their kingship. That time this is happening. So he was not ready to accept it. And the great effort of these people, those who have met, or the German people and the National Assembly, is going to or getting fading out. Why? Because of the rejection of the William IV. At that time, there was one more reason was there. So means this Frankfurt Parliament could not win itself. It could not unify the Germany. Why? One more reason is there. One reason you have seen that it is after drafting everything, after making the constitution, they have met the William IV and he rejected the proposal to be the king of United Germany. And another reason, you see, the parliament was dominated by the middle class who resisted the demands of workers and the artisans. In this meeting, the parliament was dominated by the middle class people. Dominated by the middle class people. Other workers and artisans also were there in this meeting, and they were demanding certain provisions and the proposals which will enrich them. Or they have demanded certain things for their community, for the economical development of them. Some of the principles they have discussed with them, which was strictly restricted, which was not at all accepted by the middle class. So when these artisans and poor peasants demanded something and this middle class were not ready to accept it, these poor peasants were not happy. These artisans were very not happy. There started the clash between them. And they have started the, there will be once problems will be starting the verbal, from the verbal to physical. So the fight started each other. At last, they could call the troops. The police came and removed everyone and closed the church. Go. So we can say that the first attempt to unify the Germany has not succeeded. But it was the first attempt. When we discuss about the unification of Germany, definitely you need to write about the Frankfurt Parliament. It was the first attempt to unify Germany. As they have expected, it could not happen. So, in the unification of Germany, first heading you will write Frankfurt Parliament. After writing the Frankfurt Parliament, you will be having points. One fine morning, these all are the professionals and the number of the members of the different political association from the middle class and the professionals and everything, artisans, they have gathered together, decided for a German National Assembly, voted, 831 members elected, marching towards the Church of St. Paul and drafting a constitution, meeting the William IV, rejection. William IV rejected the proposal, and there was another problem in the meeting, that was in the assembly. What was the many of the demands which was put forward by the peasants and artisans were not accepted by the middle class. There started the fight between them, so dispute between them, so that at last the troops came and dissolved or dispersed the assembly. So but still we have not unified the Germany. We need to unify the Germany. So we will go to the next topic or next heading, that is the role of Otto I Bismarck. So after the Frankfurt Parliament, you will be having the next heading, the role of Otto I Bismarck. So first point of the role of Otto I Bismarck, Prussia took the leadership for the national unification. Now, because of so many problems are going on in the European country, there were fight, wars and everything is going on. Prussia was the big country at that time in the Europe. So Prussia, yesterday, previous video also I have shown you the map of the Prussia. You have seen that it is in the west as well as in the eastern side. It was spread like, so very huge country. So they have taken the leadership of this unifying the Germany. So Otto I Bismarck was the chief architect. So Prussia has appointed Otto I Bismarck as the chief architect of the German unification. So he was appointed as the architect. Okay, you be the head of unification. The Prussian king has given the permission to the Otto von Bismarck, you will be the leader of this process or the leader of this project. What is the project? Unifying the Germany. So after he got the charge of unifying the Germany, Otto von Bismarck took the help from the Prussian army and the bureaucracy. So after he was being appointed as the chief architect of the unification of Germany, what did he do? He took the help of Prussian army. At the same time, the bureaucracy. He wanted the help, or he took the help from the Prussian army as well as the bureaucracy. As bureaucracy means the government officers and the people, those who are working with the government. At the same time, you can see that there was a particular category where their bureaucrats were their people, those who are very wealthy and those who are belonging to the noble families and those who are having very high, more land and wealthy people. They were bureaucrats. So by taking the help of these bureaucrats as well as the Prussian army, the Otto von Bismarck was going further. There were 3 wars were there. Otto von Bismarck has waged 3 wars for 7 years. 3 wars for 7 years he was waging against Austria, Denmark and France. 3 wars were there because 3 countries are there. 3 wars which belonged or which longed 7 years. After 7 years, this process of unification of Germany got end. You know that. So after 7 years, a continuous 3 war, Prussia under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck defeated the Austria, Denmark, France, entered in the Prussian victory. So they have defeated the Otto von Bismarck and his Prussian army could defeat the Austria, Denmark and France, all the part of the Germany which was with this Austria, France and everything was collected back, and they have decided and they have made the complete territory of Germany and everything. At last in 1871, Kaiser William I was proclaimed as the King of United Germany. After this process, which was coordinated by Otto von Bismarck, after succeeding in the war against this France, Denmark and Austria, Germany got independent, and 1871 Kaiser William I was proclaimed as the first King of United Germany. So I hope you are following me. Simple points. Here once again you take Prussia took the charge of unification. Otto von Bismarck was the chief architect. After becoming the chief architect, what did he do? He took the Prussian help from the Prussian army and the bureaucracy, and he had waged 3 wars for 7 years which defeated or ended up in the defeat of Austria, Denmark and France, and the Germany got unified. At last 1871 Kaiser William I was proclaimed as the King of United Germany. This is the unification of Germany. Very simple. If the unification of Germany asked 2 things, you remember Frankfurt Parliament and the role of Otto von Bismarck. Frankfurt Parliament city, they have come, decided to have a National Assembly, voted, marched towards the church, proclaimed themselves as the National Assembly, made the constitution, constitutional monarchy, meeting the William IV, he rejected, and the problem between the peasants and the artisans with the middle class, then the problem, police came, dispersed. Frankfurt Parliament is over. Then next, Otto von Bismarck. Prussia took the charge of unification of Germany. Otto von Bismarck was the chief architect. He took the help of Prussian army and bureaucracy. 3 wars, 7 years, ended up in the defeat of Austria, Denmark and France. Germany got united. Then in 1871, Kaiser William I was proclaimed as the King of Germany. That is the way Germany got united, and this is the unification of Germany. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.